What was it that they beat Liverpool by the other week? Was that 4, wasn't it? Or
Didn't really matter, to be honest.
4-0, yeah. 4-0.
Most of the players were hungover like me.
I'm sure they were, mate. But they've got 10 goals in 2 games, so I do like that thinking from Patrick Vieira's side. I think Man City are looking like they're just getting a lot of goals in. I think they're a bit pissed off they actually lost it. And baby Raheem, he got a lot to prove. Okay, so listeners, back to the NYC Brit Street Boys League. That's where the standings are. You've got Pella's back at the top in his rightful position from last season. He'll feel 2,046, and then in the bottom, Patrick Vieira 1,784. But it does look like anybody could win it. You know, the game's still open from 1st until 5th, really. Only 72 points separating 1st to 5th. Then you go down to 7th, where I'm 116 behind Pella's, but I'm only 48 behind a top 4 finish. So a lot to play for between now and then. We'll be back to present the final rundown because I know you're all on tenterhooks, as I am, to find out how we end. So, look for that after this penultimate but one episode. Moving into the next portion of our show, we are going to bring back, by popular demand, the one Klopp, one flop. You'll remember Sean the John McGinn fanboy. This was his segment. We've still not managed to get him back into the US. He's still in the Isles of Scotland. But he did have the one Klopp, one flop segment. So starting from game week 33, we need to choose our Klopp from 33. So, Ricky, can you do the honours of the Klopp and the flop from 33?
So for game week 33 plus, it was actually Patrick Vieira who had a massive points that week. Yeah. He had a great shout with Chilwell. That was in the side. He had Van Dijk, Martial, which is a great shout, and Greenwood as well. So well done, I would say, Patrick Vieira on game.
Yes, he won something. Good work, Vieira.
Woo-hoo! It's all paid off.
It was worth signing up and starting the team, right?
That's right. All this heartache, and I've actually won something. So well chuffed. Thank you, lads. Well chuffed.
And then for flop of the week for game week 33, unfortunately, I do have to give it to our beloved Sean the John McGinn fanboy. Only 45 points is uncharacteristic for him, and it did mean he's dropping out of that top spot. So sorry, Sean John McGinn fanboy, but not a great shout with Ozil. Captain Salah and De Bruyne, but just the rest of the team didn't do too good compared to the rest of the league. So that caps up game week 33.
Yeah, that's 33. Sean John McGinn fanboy, come on, my boy. You've got to sort this out. Calvin Lewin up front. I think okay, they're playing Villa and Everton have got a favourable run in, but I don't really see Calvin Lewin as a free flowing goal scorer. I think Sean John McGinn fanboy, you're listening. We know. Come on, boy, pick it up. Game week 34. One Klopp, Captain Russ. Who was the Klopp from game week 34? Take it away, my man.
No idea.
Drum roll.
I haven't got that information in front of me.
Jimmy Fergs. It was Jimmy Fergs.
Jimmy Fergs.
Of course you haven't. He doesn't want to give it to me, ladies and gents. Through gritted teeth. 114 points.
114 points.
Did you actually move up a place then, or did you stay?
I did. I moved into 6th, apparently.
Briefly,
and then I lost it.
Got too excited.
I sure did.
Premature,
late night, mate.
Excitement.
I got home so late from the strip joint, I didn't get to do my team for the next week.
So, yeah, I suppose Klopp of the week must be Jimmy Ferguson. Congratulations, mate. Big score there. Monster score, should I say. It's like that was the biggest of the season. So, well done you.
Thank you, lads. Thank you very much, Captain. Much appreciated. I have prepared a speech for this moment. Of course I haven't. I wish I had. But I don't think it was the highest ever. Obviously, I just clarified that for the listeners. It was the highest we've had this season in our league. Obviously, wasn't as good as Magnus Carlsen, who got 116 and won the chess championship. I mean, I came second in that as well. Bastard. Okay, digressing to the flop of the week for game week 34. I got the flop. The flop, I'm going to give the flop myself on this, and I think he knows it's coming because he's left his seat, NVD, shaking his head. Half the amount of points that everyone else did.
Terrible. I know. And I played my wild card as well, thinking that, you know,
Ooh.
That's a
It
kick
was-
in the nuts.
yeah, that really is. This is the team that's going to take me through the rest of the season, and it was just a shambles from start to finish. A game week to forget.
Game week 35 plus, MVD, you turned it right around, or Klopp of the week, you got to say, for game week 35 with that Antonio shout.
Yeah, I concur with that. You've gone from 0 to hero. Game week 34, the flop. Game week 35, definitely the Klopp. NVD had Antonio 4 goals, as Pella's mentioned. Patrick Vieira, who was the flop from game week 35 for you?
I can't believe it, but it's Sean McGinn fanboy again. 31 points, the lowest out of the lot. I think, Pellas, you were above him before, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite a low scoring average, unless you had like Sterling or Antonio. Both got hat tricks respectively. Obviously, Antonio got the 4th as well. But it was a tricky week, game week 35 plus. I guess Sausage Burner, he had good old Martial, good shout. And not many of us had him. I think more of us probably do so for this week. But it was a tricky week last week.
Very interesting, to be honest, that Magnus Carlsen seemed to have Antonio and Raheem Sterling, as someone pointed out earlier. It's like, as you know, the two players that both got hat tricks, you happen to have them. So I've seen a few emails have been exchanging servers between FPL and Magnus. And with Sean John McGinn fanboy getting those 2 flops, over 2 of the last 3 game weeks, I think that's where Pellas, you've taken him, really. And he's kind of, you say you've got to go all in. He's taken his eye off the ball. He's got complacent up top. And you've surmounted quite a lead up there, a good sort of 20-odd points. You must be feeling confident going into the home turn.
You know what's going to decide it? I think it usually does this time of the season, the last few game weeks, is how you use your chips as well. Not only, obviously, captains, but how you use your chips. If you've got a wild card left or you've got a free hit, if you use that at the right time strategically, I think that's the way you can really change those league positions. So it'll be interesting to see if he's still got a free hit and a wild card maybe. Then still could be more to come.
Yeah, it's definitely not over. It's good going into the last 3 weeks with it all to play for. It's far better than Liverpool having won the league like 10 years ago and having to have waited for it a long time. So anyhow, that's the first half done, ladies and gents.
Salty.
No. No school. Just a little bit. Okay, that is the first half done. Second half, we'll go into game week 37 and 38. We'll review both of those. We've got your captain contenders for you. And as Pellas said, it's the players that you're going to choose in these last few game weeks that are going to make or break it, and the chips, the way you use them. We've also got a Rambolino from the dugout. Rambolino. So we'll be back. I'm off to get some more Californian wine. We'll see you in the second half, ladies and gents. Thanks for listening.
Hey.
Welcome to part 2 of Left Back in the Changing Room. Hey, penultimate episode. Oh, it's almost there. Guys, I can't wait to see how the season pans out and finishes. I'm not a betting man, but if I were, fellas, I don't think you're going to get caught. I just can't see it. What do you think, NVD? Is anyone going to take him?
It's difficult, but, John McGinn fanboy has shown us that I think he started out the season bottom, right? And he rose to the top. And so who knows what he's going to pull out in these last 2 game weeks. And maybe he's going to be listening into tonight's episode and we're going to reveal some gems for him. And
who knows what he's going to pull out, eh?
Yeah, I know. I'm a bit worried.
He's still a contender.
You never know, dude.
He's still a contender, but I think...
Pull it out from his kilt.
What's a rambling?
Oh,
Rambolino.
We've got a Rambolino from the dugout, guys. We get that. Hello, who do we have on the line?
Hi. Good morning. Or is it afternoon? I can't really tell. My name's Harold, and I'm...
Harold. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm actually Butthead's grandfather.
Who's Butthead?
You.
You mean Beavis, Harold? Harry Kane?
Harold, I like to call him, is Harold Kane Jr.
Where are you calling
I'm
from?
good. I'm 85. What did you say? Is that what you said? You say how old I am? I can't quite hear you.
I did, yeah, I said that. And where are you calling from?
Oh, I'm calling from the dugout.
The dugout?
Dugout in Windsor. Yeah,
Excellent.
next door to the castle. You heard of it? Windsor Castle?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
It got burned down years back, didn't it?
It
Was
did.
you in it when it got burned down?
It's those Legoland people, you know. They were just, Legoland now in Windsor. They came around and they just burnt the bugger down.
Lego.
Scandalous.
That is scandalous. Harold, you sound like you've got a question for us, Harold.
I do.
Fantasy Premier League related, I believe.
I believe so. So the question is, which 3 teams would you choose to triple up on, if with the players for the next 2 weeks, and who would you avoid?
Thanks, Harold. No, timely question indeed. So 2 game weeks to go. God, I've gone all posh as well, Harold. Oh no, what's happened to me? It's all right, guys. Jimmy Ferg's back. So we've got 2 game weeks to go, lads. Harold wants to know, are there any teams that he should be focusing on? If he was to get 3 players from any of those teams, are there teams he should be focusing on? Teams he should perhaps be avoiding as well? Pellers, I'll hand it to you. What do you think?
I think despite the Pep rotation, I think it's an obvious one's going to be Man City, because they're going to be one of build up for the Champions League. They're going to go all guns blazing to try and win the Champions League. And, them and Chelsea are both, 2 English Premier League teams remaining. So you've got to go with Man City. The trick is guessing the right players who are going to play, looking at their minutes, right? Who's played midweek and then who plays the weekend game. There's so much to choose from there. Apart from Aguero being out now. So Jesus he is going to be featured from time to time. But because we've got people like Sterling playing at false number 9, you've got Mahrez who comes in and out of the side. So it's going to be tricky. But I would definitely put some money on Man City in the final two games. They've got Watford away and they've got Norwich at home.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It doesn't get much easier than, your last game of the season for Man City being against Norwich, who are highly likely going to finish bottom of the table. Don't see that changing. And then Watford, who are also down there as well. So in 17th, Watford. So it's definitely Man City. I agree with that. NVD, any other teams that you'd throw into the mix?
Yeah, I think Manchester United, I think they say that if the league had started, or if you took just the results from the league restarting, Manchester United would be number 1, Manchester City would be number 2. Fortunately, that's not the case, and Liverpool are rightful winners. But you can't look past Manchester United. They've been on form. Ollie's relying on the players who are really on form as well. So they're quite solidified. So you've seen a lot of points with Martial, to be honest, in particular, who I think is outshone, and to be honest, is probably just shaded Fernandes, who's just been amazing on points. And then, an absolute surprise and an absolute bargain is Greenwood as well, who's been starting and has been banging in the goals. Apart from Manchester United, I guess the only other team I'd say, and it's all a common theme here really, because there's that race for 4th position or Champions League spot, especially with Leicester faltering, is Sheffield United. They've been grinding out results. I think kind of their last 4 games, they've won 3, drawn 1. They absolutely smashed Chelsea in the last game. Mm-hmm. So, from either a defensive perspective, if you're looking maybe for cheaper defenders, that, I don't know, maybe perhaps the Liverpool defenders that, are wavering a little bit and are expensive, then you can always look at Sheffield United. But, McBurney's been in amongst the goals, to be honest. So I think, you could always kind of punt if you want maybe cheaper options than City or United and Chelsea players. Have a look at Sheffield United.
That's a good call. And I think, one of the things you definitely mentioned there on the top 4, with Man City getting their Court of Arbitration appeal overturned for the Champions League, they're going to be in the Champions League. It's now only the top 4 positions. I'm absolutely gutted, personally, that Man United could not hold on against Southampton. That, to me, is just really disappointing it's a big blow after the run that we've had.
Did you watch the game, Jimmy? Out of curiosity, because Southampton were just played really well.
I have to admit, mate, I watched the first 60 minutes, and I have to say we were at fault for the goal that they got in the first one. Pogba gave the ball away. I thought Man United could have been 4-1 up at half time, and
they just weren't clinical enough. Is that what you think it was, Jim?
You weren't clinical enough. No, and Fernandes actually had an off day for some reason. His passing wasn't quite there. Martial played really well. Rashford played really well. They looked really good. And I got to admit, I did switch it off at the 60-minute mark. And to see them, Southampton actually score 96th minute was really gutting. I don't know how the league's gonna pan out. And it's not over, right? I mean, last game of the season, you've got Leicester versus Man United, and it could come down to that game for who gets the fourth spot. So,